Hey guys, welcome back to Eel, Arkansas. Over the weekend, I took the 338 Lapua out, testing some more 300 grain burgers. This time, I thought I would go back and test them with the US869 powder. When I had previously tested it with the 285 grain ELDs, I didn't get very good results from it. It didn't group very well, so I thought maybe testing it with a 300 grain bullet, I might get a better result. So, um, let's get into this. So, I took these and I went ahead and did our first. I guess I just wanted to make sure the gun was sighted in, so I shot 3 rounds. And there we go. This is at 100 yards with 104 grains of US869, 3 rounds, and that's over 2 inches wide at that one. About 2 and an eighth or so spread on those. So I was like, well, I'll swab the barrel out, run one wet patch of clip down the barrel and then two dry patches to clean it up, and shot 6 rounds of 300 grain Lapua boat tail hollow points just because I had them, and I ran them over 105 grains of US869, and with those it double grouped. The first 3 rounds hit here, which is nice. It's about 1 minute of angle. And then the next 3 rounds hit here, which was about one minute of angle. Now this is obviously this is better than this gun has been shooting. So I kind of saved this target and saved that I was using a Lapua bullet just because I only had 6 of them. Somebody gave them to me, but it appears that maybe the Lapua bullets actually fly better out of this barrel than the Bergers do. So maybe something to look into in the future. From there, I actually got into testing with the Bergers. So I shot this target first at 104 grains, and it hit 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5 down here. So terrible grouping. I mean, we're only at 100 yards here. That's horrible. That's at least 4 or 5 inches. These are completely different sized targets, by the way. So, and then I went to 104.5, and we got this group, which is still pretty bad. And then I went to 105 grains, and I hit here and here and here and here, and then 1 round came all the way off the target, barely clipped the edge of the target. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not even gonna shoot the 105.5 grain group on here. So what I did was I come back and I shot all of them on here. I shot the 105 grain group at aiming here, and then I went down and aimed here for 105.5 was here, and then I come back and aimed here with 106, and then also shot 106.5 and 107 at this center point, and only 2 rounds made it in the X, and I was aimed here the whole time, and it's like they're shooting a cone. I've got some sort of harmonic issue going on with this rifle, or a scope issue, but I've tightened everything. I've tested 2 different scopes on this rifle, and this is all I'm getting is these results. Yeah, occasionally I'll get rounds that, but I don't know what charge this was where they hit close to each other, and it may have been a couple different charges, and they just happen to hit the same spot. So, but did get some good news on the actual load data using US869, and we can take a look at that. So these are with the 300 grain Bergers. Oh, and before we look at this, I will say that I actually turned the necks on all of this brass. So I turned all the necks on all this test brass, but at 104 grains, our extreme spread was 224 feet per second, and average velocity was 2561.6. At 104.5, our extreme spread dropped to 100 feet per second, or 107, and our average was 2692. At 105, we got an extreme spread of 48, average 2673. At 105.5, extreme spread of 28, average of 2745. 106, extreme spread of 41, average 2766, and extreme spread of 27 at 106.5, and the average was 2762. 107 grains, we had an extreme spread of 41, and our average velocity was 2788.6. So what I found interesting is that the velocity difference between 106 and 106.5 was only 4 feet per second in difference. The extreme spread was 27 here. Of course, this was a good one with the extreme spread 28 as well. And then at 107, it jumped up a little bit, about 26 feet per second or so. But the extreme spread was 41 there, and the extreme spread was 41 here at 106. And the difference in velocity was 22 feet per second. So, kind of interesting. We, had some interesting results, but I think I'm going to try to explore more in the 106 area, 106 and a half grain area. I don't think I'm going to try to push it any higher than that. Because running 2750 with a 300 grain Berger is pretty good. I could probably squeeze out 2800 and get an average around 2800 with a couple more tenths of a grain of powder. But because we got 2806 duplicates right there, shot 3 and 4 on the 107 group. And maybe I might try that. I might try 107.2 grains or 107.3 or something just to see what happens with that seeding depth. So as far as the actual grouping goes, these bullets are seeded out as far as they can go. They're being seeded right into the lands, or about 2,000s back. I tried to get them all 2,000s off the lands. But with the bullet seeding, it takes a few rounds for your dye to settle in. So some of them were a little further back than others, and that sort of thing. But this is just kind of how it goes. So now I guess I'm going to go back to the 106, between 106 and 107. Maybe just stick with 106 and a half as my load, because it gave me the overall lowest extreme spread. And then work on bullet seeding depth and bringing them back a couple thousandths at a time. Load 5 at one seeding depth and bring them down 2 thousandths, load 5 more, bring it down 2 thousandths, load 5 more, and that sort of thing. Now, one thing I did notice is that this is like the 5th, 6th time this brass has been reloaded at this point. And the last time I went and tested this brass and shot it, I had about 2 or 3 cases out of the 50 I shot cracked on me, and I had to throw them away. This time when I shot them, I had about, out of 50 shots, out of 50 rounds, I had about 10 of them, or 10 or 12 crack on me. So the brass is getting to the end of its life, and that may be some of the issues. That could have a lot to do with my accuracy problems. Is the brass is just done. Being a 338 Lapua, the brass just does not last very long, because it's a lot of power, a lot of powder, a lot of pressure, a lot of heat, and all that. And besides that, I don't have an annealer, so I haven't been annealing any of this brass, which they say it will make your brass last longer. I don't know. I'm going to look into trying to try that out, and get me some sort of setup in a way that I can actually anneal some of the brass, and hopefully it works out. I don't know. Hopefully it does prove to be more, makes the brass last a little longer. So that's about it. If you got any questions or comments, you want to add anything to this or recommend anything, let me know. We'll see you next time. Peace.